To be completely honest, most of the time we think people who fast-tracked their lives and achieved everything just had some kind of magic spell or dropped in from another planet. But the cold, hard truth is that when you strip away the layers and look under the hood, you realize that behind all that heavy presence and noise, there's a set of ironclad rules that you yourself can implement in your own life right now. Andrew Tate is precisely one of those figures whose trajectory has shocked many of us. A man who once took brutal punches with bare hands in dark, freezing boxing gyms, only for his name to echo across the entire world later. But the real question is, behind all this controversy, what is the ruthless lesson waiting for you and me? In this video, we are going to dive straight into the mastermind that many people are terrified to confront, and see how you can forge a winning version of yourself out of this challenge-filled history. So stay with me until the very last second, because your entire perspective on life is about to get completely turned upside down. Have you ever asked yourself why some people curl up in a fetal position and wait for a miracle the moment a single obstacle blocks their path, while another group acts like their engines were just revved up? The answer boils down to a single word: accountability, something Tate has relentlessly hammered home throughout his entire life. Let's wind the clock back to the days when Andrew was living in Britain, days when there were no luxury cars, no massive wealth, and no million-dollar cameras. Back then, he was just an ordinary athlete whose lungs burned with absolute exhaustion inside training halls. Most people in that exact situation whine and blame the system, the economy, family, or society. But he had a core rule wired into his brain that ultimately saved his life: absolutely no one is coming to save you. This is precisely where most of us get completely stuck. We sit around waiting for a savior to show up and rescue us, while until you accept that every single mess and every single failure is entirely on you, zero change will ever happen. The first lesson you need to burn into your memory right this second is this: the moment you take full ownership of your current reality, you instantly claim the power to change it. As long as you make excuses, you are literally handing your power over to other people. But the story doesn't end right there. Let me share a secret about how your brain operates that you've probably never paid attention to. The human brain is fundamentally wired to run away from pain and hardship and cling tightly to comfort. Tate always emphasizes in his interviews that reality treats nobody with kid gloves. Back in his boxing ring days, he learned that the human body and mind are precisely like a piece of iron. If you aren't thrown into the heat of the furnace and hammered, you stay soft and fold at the very first impact. He argued that enduring pain is a choice. Either you embrace the discipline of suffering right now in your training and hard work, or you will be forced to shoulder the crushing pain of regret and heartbreak for the rest of your life. Now, take a long look in the mirror. What did you do this morning when your alarm went off? Did you smash the snooze button or leap right out of bed? That tiny, microscopic decision is what separates a winner from a loser. Our minds are deeply in love with sugarcoating our actions. We lie to ourselves, telling ourselves things like, "I'll start tomorrow," or "I'm just too tired today." But the bitter reality is that success has never once smelled the fragrance of laziness. Despite all his controversies, Andrew Tate delivered a monumental lesson to the world. The person who can conquer their own impulses and laziness rules their own universe. Now let's move on to the second chapter of this journey, a place where countless people lose the game simply because they cannot stomach failure. In the world of professional sports, losing is an everyday occurrence, but for Andrew Tate, taking a loss felt like a catastrophic personal tragedy. Once upon a time, he took a devastating hit in a championship match that completely upended everything he had built. Right then and there, most people assumed his career was dead in the water and he would never step foot back in the ring. But that was precisely when a bizarre shift in perspective happened inside his mind. Instead of sitting around crying, feeling sorry for himself, and cursing the ground, he played the match footage back in his head 100 times, dissecting every single mistake like a master surgeon. Here is the golden lesson. Ordinary people, when they get knocked down, get furious at the ground and curse the dirt, but successful people dust themselves off and ask, "What was this knockdown supposed to teach me?" Failure in the real world is not your enemy. Failure is actually a brutal teacher showing you precisely where your weak spots are. If you don't learn how to extract fuel from your failures, you are condemned to run in place for the rest of your life. This is the very psychology of dominance that Tate leveraged to transform himself from an average athlete into an unshakable Iron Man that nothing could stop. Wait a second, though, there is a bizarre twist right here in this story that you probably never saw coming. Lots of people assume Andrew Tate did all of this simply because he was power-hungry or obsessed with money. But if you look deeper, this isn't about money at all, it's about absolute mastery over time and hyper-focus. Tate constantly preaches that the ultimate betrayal you can inflict upon yourself is gifting your precious time to worthless people and hollow pursuits. Back during his days of poverty in Britain, he learned how to dial his focus in like a laser beam onto his core objective. He noted that while everyone else is wasting hours scrolling through social media feeds and watching other people's highlight reels, you should be locked inside a dark room grinding away at your craft. This translates directly to emotional control and delayed gratification. We live in an era where everything demands instant fulfillment: fast food, instant messages, bite-sized short videos. This entire system is deliberately architected to render your mind lazy and impatient. Andrew Tate's ideological framework hits this modern culture like a sledgehammer, declaring that anything easily acquired is just as easily lost. If you genuinely want your life to transform, you must master the art of saying no to cheap, fleeting pleasures. Now, let's bring these heavy lessons directly into the core of your own everyday life. You don't need to become Andrew Tate or mirror his exact path. The vital takeaway is mastering how to weaponize these principles in your daily routine to forge a much stronger version of yourself. Step number 1 is drawing a permanent red line under all your excuses starting tonight. Instead of complaining about how bad your circumstances are, ask yourself, given these exact crappy circumstances, what actionable move can I make right now? Step number 2 is grasping the reality that your emotions are not your boss. Just because you don't feel like it today, just because you are exhausted, just because you crave comfort, doesn't mean you get a pass on doing the work. Great human beings are those who deliver their absolute peak performance precisely on the days they feel like doing it the least, because they understand that discipline is infinitely more reliable than motivation. Motivation acts like a flimsy paper airplane. It flies for a second and then crashes, whereas discipline acts as a heavy-duty jet engine capable of blasting you straight over mountains. Let's bring this home with a phenomenal wrap-up. Andrew Tate vividly demonstrated to us that the world shows zero mercy to the weak, the victimized, and the chronic complainers. If you want to emerge victorious in this game, you have to master its underlying rules. You must shoulder the responsibility for every single second of your existence, stop running away from pain and instead turn it into raw fuel, guard your focus and time with fierce protection, and refuse to let negativity and laziness drag you down into the dirt. Now, the ultimate question you need to ask yourself is this: how much longer are you going to sit on the sidelines as a passive spectator of other people's lives while secretly eating your heart out with envy? Starting today, starting this exact split second, take the game seriously. Put the phone down, stand tall, and take that very first concrete step toward building the authentic, powerful version of yourself. If this video sparked something inside you, made your mindset shift, and shook you out of your comfort zone, make sure to drop a comment and let me know which specific part hit you the hardest. Until the next video, guard your mind fiercely.